We're talking football with Bengal Jim and friends. We're talking football. We hope this never ends. Jimmy, James, and Tom are back for more. Like Joey B, we're here for season 4 with Bengal guests and stories not heard before. There's Tony, Mark, and Jamie, as well as our charity, FOTY Nation, joining from far and wide. Every Tuesday night, the guys are back at it live. By the fans, for the fans, from day one, it's time to have some fun. We're talking football with Bengal Jim and friends. We're talking football. We hope this never ends. The Bengal boys stop by to drop the speed. Don't get your popcorn ready and take a seat. Season 4 will end with the Lombardi.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Talking Football with Bengal Jim and friends. Bengals are at 3-3. The bye week is over. We're heading into San Francisco on a 2-game win streak. And a pretty ticked off San Francisco team losing their last 2 games. So we're going to hit it. We're going to talk about that tonight. 8:30, we had a very special discussion, a discussion you haven't heard in detail at all. Tony the Tiger and a group of us will be talking about the Fan of the Year announcement and how that came about at 8:30. About 8:20, duck race. And we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, guys. James is somewhere in Fiji. Last we saw, I don't know if that shark got a hold of him, Tom, but that shark came pretty close.
Hey, we're thinking about James. We're thinking about the whole family that's out there. But you mentioned the Fan of the Year discussion. Who won this year?
You guys didn't get the memo?
Are we still voting?
Point to it.
It's hard to point. It's like it's backwards. So,
yeah.
I thought you borrowed one of Jimmy's jerseys. I didn't realize.
I thought I was going to say that was on at Jimmy's garage sale.
Oh, Jesus! Stop it! So we're going to get into
congratulations, Tony.
Yeah, congrats, buddy. Proud of you, man. We're going to get into some really detailed discussion about that here at 8:30. I'm telling you, you're going to want to stay tuned. There's going to be some funny stories that we're going to be able to share that we haven't shared publicly. I think internally we've done that. But a couple quick updates. A quick announcement: the Sunday night game against the Buffalo Bills, another massive tailgate plan. And we had so much fun last time when the Trailer Park Floozies were there. We're doing it again. That Sunday night, we're going to have the Trailer Park Floozies back in the house.
That car better not be parked there this time.
Yeah.
That's all we can.
Hey, that person with that red beamer, hey, we will pick that thing up. It's going in the Ohio River. We're putting that stage on top of it, or we're going to do something, but we'll figure it out. But the Trailer Park Floozies are back Sunday night here for the Bengals-Bills matchup. Let's kick off a couple quick things. The wine event. So we're not doing a tailgate in San Fran. We are going to kind of probably tag along and share a tail and visit San Fernati, a San Francisco fan group. That's going to be tailgating a lot one. Kind of stay tuned on our social media platforms. We'll share that with you guys. But Saturday night in Napa Valley, one of the most unique, weekend football events we've ever done before. We partnered with Bold Stripes in Napa Valley. We got a 30,000 square foot wine cave. There'll be acoustic guitars playing, music playing, food, wine. They will be having a Bengal light show. There's going to be banners hanging up. There's going to be Bengal highlight videos from the last few seasons playing, some games playing on video. We're going to have a blast. I think that's from 1 to 3 o'clock. I'm looking forward to being in Napa Valley because I think what we're going to do is probably spend most of the day up in Napa kind of visiting some different wineries up there. Jamie, what happened? Did we just lose somebody? Tom came back on?
I don't know what Tom's doing.
He's here.
Can you hear me?
Halloween.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
He didn't like being in the bottom right corner, so he switched to the left.
Yep. We got Mark down there now, Bougie Mark. So, Jamie, if you could at some point share that link in the chat area. There's only a small handful of spots left for this event. So if you're able to make it, come and join us. I think David Fulcher's coming and his family, and I'm pretty sure there's a chance that Isaac Curtis and some other former players will be present with us as well. But that's going to be a very special evening that night. at the wine event. So hope to see everybody there if you're in San Fran. If not, we'll see you game day. It's going to be a great day. Also, the Jacksonville tailgate. Guys, we are getting, I think we've already sold over 300 tickets to that Jacksonville tailgate. There will be a link that we post there shortly. We have 2 locations that we're working on right now. Both of them are very, very, that's the Arizona tailgate. Sorry. They're very close to the stadium. So stay tuned for some more details here over the next couple of weeks, but make sure you lock up your tickets for that tailgate because that will likely sell out because we have limited space available for the away tailgate then. So just keep an eye on the social media platforms for that. We had some really fun events here the past week and a half. There's Tom again.
Oh,
that happens usually once a show for Tom, but we got
Get it out the way early.
to get him a laptop is what we got to do. Tom will sign back in here in a minute. Jamie, keep an eye on him if you could.
yeah,
But let's go ahead and hit on. I'll wait for to talk about the movie night thing that we had, but let's talk about the event last night, Tony, the Cincy Hats event. They raised over 10 grand at 16 lots. Talk about that event a little bit.
Yeah, it was a great turnout. A lot of people came out to see Ted Karras. Of course, they released their beanies last night. Also, they had all their other hats and accessories that they have there. A lot of people were buying items. Ted was taking lots of pictures with folks. We also had our friends, Cincy Bob's there, selling the Ted Karras bobblehead, which I do believe sold out from last time I heard. So it was a great event. 16 lots hosted us really well. They actually, for every beer that was sold, they donated $1 to the cause to help get them over that $10,000. So all in all, it was a great time seeing people and just talking with them and enjoying the evening.
Yeah, great crowd there last night. We were there early, kind of setting up, helping Dell and Matt from Cincy Hats. And here is good old Teddy taking pictures with kids. He was just smiling hours. It was 5 to 8 o'clock, and he barely had a break there. Maybe a little bit late that he got to eat something and had something to drink. But that was a really fun event. But to raise over 10 grand on a Monday night, people fought through traffic, rush hour, parking the parking garage, and finding that location up at Newport on the Levee. It was an awesome evening. And what's crazy about it, a lot of those folks had never been up there before at Newport on the Levee and never been to 16 lots. So now they know they have another great place, a beautiful view of the city, and great food and drinks there at 16 lots.
Yeah,
very fun, very, very, very cool spot. Let's talk about another event we had. Was it not this past obviously tonight? Last Tuesday, Tom, we had Cam Miller premiere that Riverfront Stadium, the Jungle premiere, packed house at 16 lots again. But man, goosebumps, tears. Talk a little bit about that event, Tom.
Yeah, Riverfront Remember the Jungle. Cam has been working on that for well over a year. We've been talking with him about it, and it was well worth the wait. It was incredible, and I think more than anything, more than the footage, the memories, the dates, how it came to be, was there, and Cam, I think, felt the same way. But looking out in the audience and seeing Bob Johnson and his reaction to that, and Ken Anderson and his reaction to that, and Max Montoya and Louis Breeden and Robert Jackson and Icky and all the guys, it meant so much to them emotionally, not just to see that, but to feel the positive vibes. I mean, you got to realize through the 90s, anybody associated with the franchise was pounded on, whether they deserved it or not. And those guys, they deserve their applause. They deserve the respect and the appreciation and the positive vibes that come from an event like that. So it just meant so much to them. And I think that was my biggest takeaway of the night. That and the hard work that Cam always does such a great job with Cincinnati history, especially Cincinnati sports history. But he did the Jungle part of Riverfront Stadium more than enough justice. What an outstanding job. And I'm working on, hopefully one day we'll get that director's cut, all 3 hours of that. We only saw 30 minutes of it, but it was something special.
Yeah, I thought what was really interesting at night, Mark was there, Tony was there, Tom was there, obviously. Prior to the viewing, the premiere at 7:30, we had all the players come up on a kind of a up front and just have them all share a story or two about their memories of Riverfront Stadium. And guys, I'm telling you, it was there was some funny stuff, there was some serious stuff that would kind of give you goosebumps. When you're around as long as Tom and I have been around, you hear a lot of these stories multiple times. There were some stories that were shared that we've heard before, but guys, there were some stories that I had never heard before. Tom, I think you probably agree with that one. We do have somebody who did a video of that event when the players were speaking. We're hoping to have that to you here by this weekend at some point. We're cutting it down to a half an hour clip of all 12 or 13 of those players that were there and their thoughts and their memories of Riverfront. And there were some very, very special memories. And the other thing I think that was very memorable to me, guys, was almost the eerie silence. We're in a brewery. Lights go out. Movie comes on. You could hear a pin drop in that place. It got so quiet. It was so – the anticipation of that, the players – I wasn't expecting that. And I'm not going to say what player, but one of the OGs that played in the 70s for the Bengals had a tear dropping down his face. And when you watch that premiere, I would go to YouTube and look that up. It's Cam Miller Films, Riverfront Remembered the Jungle. Watch that half an hour video. It is absolutely amazing. And I didn't know how that event was going to go, guys. We had never done that before. But Tom and Tony, Mark, give us your feedback on that night as well.
Yeah, I mean, a couple things, especially, hearing the players and just how they felt we gave them an advantage with the crowd. That meant a lot, to hear how much, difference we made. They all spoke about, their moments, but a lot of them brought up, A, the ground being super hard, and B, how much the fans cheered. And then seeing that Tiger roar, the touchdown Tiger roar on the Jumbotron, that brought me back to being a kid. I hadn't seen that in a while. And I also have to mention my man Cam. He was sharp as a tack that night, too. I got to give him some props. He had on the suit with the Paul Brown fedora. He was dressed to kill that night.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Tony?
Yeah, it was very eerie just to sit there and listen to the stories and to see the stadium, and knowing that, for most of us, that was our first game. That's where we grew to love the Bengals. And it was a very, very well put together film, very short film to try to share everything that is so special about the Riverfront Stadium. I was sitting there and just listening to those stories and the players jabbing at each other. And it was like they were all back together in the locker room again, just having a good time with it and telling the story. So it was a really special night, and enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, very cool stuff. Again, if you weren't there, we're going to be able to have the video clip, half an hour clip of the players talking about it. So we'll have that posted here for you at some point here within the next week, hopefully by this weekend. Our guy's shooting for Friday, but I'll tell you to be up sooner than later. Let's take a couple minutes here. Jamie, you okay on your power on your laptop right now? We're relying on Jamie on his power. He doesn't have his cord here. So where are you at?
I'm at 17%.
All right, we're good. We're going to hit on – let's talk now about the bye week. Up to the bye, what's happened good this year? And I want everybody to participate. If you're watching right now, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, type in any comments. Man, what do you think went well up until the bye week, started the season up to bye? And what do you think we need to improve on, guys? So let's talk about it now. And any comments you guys have, post them up there. Let's get some discussion around this. What do we need to improve on? And what has to keep going the same way the first half? Tom, kick us off there, buddy.
Well, Jimmy, first of all, you mentioned the bye week. There is no Bengals game on the bye week.
True.
I just want to cover that. No, just being a smart aleck. But you all right, Jamie?
We're going to get in trouble for that.
But I think, and I'll still say, management and ownership has never put together a better team going into a season, and certainly with intent and covering all the bases. I think a couple of things have caught up with the franchise. One, we had CJ Uzama, who wasn't an all-pro, but was a good tight end and a fantastic locker room guy who left for New York, and maybe we can argue that New York overpaid him, and he has not had the success there personally that he would want. And then we got Hayden Hurst, who was a very good receiver and served his purpose, was very effective, fantastic in the community. And I think even though he was here a year, will always have a special place in Bengals' hearts. Irv Smith Jr. came in, who I still think is a lot of talented, and it has not worked. He has not been getting open. He has not been getting separation. It's like we're playing on passing downs with 10 guys when he's in there. He's just not getting open. He is not getting the ball. And, I'm not sure his blocking has been that spectacular. I think next year, and we're getting ahead of ourselves, I am getting ahead of us, we're going to have to look at a high draft pick this first couple rounds and properly address the tight end situation. The tight end's been a massive disappointment. The offensive line, you know what? From a pass blocking as a unit standpoint, it's probably the best since Zach Taylor got here. I think it might be average, and they've had some really good games. We've got our weak points, man. Teams love to throw those stunts at us and come right up the middle, and they seem to be having some success on that. But Alex Kappa is playing lights out. I think Jonah Williams, if he can understand, he can play right tackle, has made himself a lot of money. I don't know whether it'll be here or somewhere else. And I think Zeus is doing a pretty good job of left tackle. And now we found out he's been playing hurt for quite some time, but hopefully he'll be back. Looks like he'll be back Sunday in Frisco. So we've got a healthy quarterback again. I think that the most important play of that game last week may have been watching Joe Burrow when he scrambled around. It made Fran Tarkington look like a junior varsity quarterback with that scramble he had. My goodness. So, but if we can get that, if we can get T healthy, get him some separation, the offense can be fixed. And I think the defense has played well. There are games the pass rush doesn't show up. I think the safeties are still learning, but give the safeties a little more time. Come November, two full months with Lou coaching them, I think come November our safeties are going to end up being a strength with everything. And they're not playing that awful now, but we got 11 games to go. I think we got to find 7 wins if we're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, there's a boatload of comments in here. Jamie, just want to throw up a couple of them. We can just hit them as you pop them up, man. Everybody's making a lot of good points out there.
Sure. Yeah. Just to tag on to what Tom was saying. Sorry, I'm trying to put the comments up. To tag on to what Tom was saying, I think most people will agree that the tight end position is the weakest link so far in this team. I would, if we hadn't seen Burrow get healthier as we're seeing now, I probably would say the play calling, which is always something Zach Taylor has won me over. Some of the play calling, sometimes I know we get to ride on it a little bit, but we don't know how much of that play calling has been vanilla because of Burrow's injury and limitations and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to see, I want to see this team go for it when it's, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. They're not doing like some chunk plays, like actually going for the first down. But tight end. And Larry asks, do they make a move before the trade deadline? Are we getting a tight end? Is there a tight end out there? Who is it?
I seriously think that
if we made a move, I'm not sure tight end would be the move because they had the chance to draft a tight end in the deepest tight end draft in recent memory, and they didn't do it. So, they could realize they made a mistake, but I just don't see them going for it now when they could have had whoever they wanted. That's just me personally.
Yeah, I don't see him. I don't see. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't just knowing the history of the team. I don't think they're going to go out and make a deal for a tight end. They're not giving up on Irv Smith right now, although he hasn't played. To be honest, going into the year, I thought he was going to be the biggest pickup we had in the offseason if he stayed healthy. He stayed healthy. He just hasn't performed, and they're not giving up on him, I don't think, at this point. So I don't think they make any trades, guys. Tony, what about you? I think they're sticking with what they got. No, there's no injuries right now, knock on wood. But I think they stick with what they got here.
Yeah, the history shows that we don't do much trading, and I don't see them making a move. I know there's a lot of talk too about P. Ryan. People wanting P. Ryan back. That would be awesome. I would be all for that. But I just don't see them doing anything right now at this time. I think they're just going to wait until next year and try to see what they have and fix what they need to do.
Yeah, I'd say let's talk about again. I want to talk about the things they've done well, guys. We may have 2 of the most dynamic starting cornerbacks right now. A young rookie and I'm telling you, man, that cornerback spot, Tom, has been extremely solid for us.
Yeah, but who is the top-rated cornerback on the team and one of the top in the conference? It's DJ Turner.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah. But
Woozy's on right now.
Yeah, and we'll see. We'll see what a week off does for that. But yeah, you have to have at least 4 starting caliber kick butt cornerbacks every week in this league if you're going to win.
Right.
And
right.
They have that right now. They've got that depth. So, next year will be next year. But let's hope that. I think I'd like to see the pass rush be a little more consistent, especially from the inside. But, Trey's having a good year. He's had some moments where he's kind of disappeared, but Trey's having another Pro Bowl year. He'll go to the Pro Bowl again. Sam has really come on. So we've got linebackers that make plays. And like I said, any problems with the safeties, and the safeties have had a lot of good moments too, I think are going to be remedied. Lou's big thing is always, I don't like playing young defensive backs, which is true, because they're going to have moments when they get burned. But remember last year with Cam Taylor-Britt, he had to play. When Chitty got hurt Halloween night, and he had to step in play.
I remember that.
And he'd missed most of training camp, but he'd been back for 2 months practicing hard, and he stepped right in and get the job done. DJ Turner this year didn't get hurt in training camp, nicked up a little bit, but didn't miss much time. He's playing lights out. So I think, going back to the safety spot, I think those guys are going to get even better coming out of the bye.
I agree. So we talked about things that they did well prior to bye week and things they've done well. We're going to talk about the San Francisco game here in a minute, but I want to get to the duck race before 8:30 here, so we stick on time of that 8:30 Fan of the Year conversation with Tony. So, Tony, kick off the charity, what we raise money for this evening. How much you're raising? How many ducks we have on the pond?
So we got 20 ducks sold. It was for a local 5-year-old. Her name's Sawyer Parks. She was diagnosed with leukemia in June 1st of this year. Struggled really hard. Basically had to learn how to talk and walk again. The family's a great family, and we're just trying to help them to release some stress that they have with some medical bills and that kind of thing. So we did a duck race for them. So we raised $500 at the duck race, and then we all talked, and basically we want to add to that. So we're going to add an additional $250 to that. So we'll be able to contribute $750 to the family to try to help with some medical bills that they're trying to work with to release some of the stress they're dealing with, because right now they got enough on their hands. So,
and just a reminder for everybody out there that we are now a 501c3. So we've had money that we've set aside to kind of help with the tailgates and to be able to fund some of our other charity stuff that we're doing here as well. So, Tom, let's go and get this going, brother. You're a duck caller here, and what are we playing for? What's the winners get tonight, Tony?
So we got a BJ Hill signed jersey, as well as an Ocho mini helmet that we're giving away to the winner. So
okay, we'll show those pictures here in a minute, but we got 20 ducks on the pond, $750 tonight for this charity we're focusing on. Appreciate everybody participating in this. Tom, go ahead and kick us off, bud.
Jamie, when you're ready.
3, 2, 1.
And they're off. Charging past the 275 bridge. So we got a noisy duck. It's Jim Yaku's duck out in front early.
Uh-oh. We got
Wait a minute.
There it is.
Like that. An obstruction in the Ohio River slows it down. The George Washington duck. I like that. It looks like what is that? A judge from like England or something was there for a little. He's fading back. Got the margarine duck there. He's fading back. Here comes green duck. Mike Fravor looking pretty good. They're coming down past the Montgomery Inn Boathouse. Jerry Blackwell's in just about every week. He's got a good-looking duck with 15 seconds to go. Everybody else is fading. Everybody else is going back. Wait a minute. Jim Allen with the Superman beret duck.
Uh-oh.
Comes
Somebody's charging.
Noah Burns.
Noah Burns. Plain boring duck. Nora Burns wins with a river record tying time of 60 seconds. Fantastic. Well done, Nora Burns. And we will get with you, and you get with us, and we will get you your well-deserved prize.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Let's hit on this too, guys. Thanks again. I know people love that duck race. It's been a lot of fun. Find a graphic here. So year to date, including the duck race numbers tonight, and then what was raised for Revive Family Foundation at the movie night last Tuesday. Guys, Tony, $87,741. And man, we did 130 last year. This is all you guys doing this. Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Tony, we've got a lot of people helping, obviously internally to make this work, but it's amazing the amount of fans, not just locally, nationally, but internationally that help with these duck races and these charities.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We just help facilitate this, but like you said, Jimmy, it's the fans that are helping contribute these funds and help these charities. And with this last one, that's 22 different organizations, foundations, or charities that we've been able to help. And I say this all the time, and I think you say it too as well, Jimmy, is it's not only the money that we do here, it's bringing attention to these organizations to let people know that they're out there to help them, and just bring attention in the overall perspective of what they provide and how they can help you. So it's awesome. I just love doing this. And, without you guys and Who Day Nation out there, we wouldn't be able to do this at all. So appreciate y'all.
Yeah, love you guys, man. It's just absolutely unbelievable, man. And most every one of those charities are local charities. I can't remember if I got a reference. I got to find that article, but I know I read there's more charities and foundations here in this region than anywhere else in the country. And I tell you what, Who Day Nation is one of the most giving fan bases in the NFL by far, in my opinion. So let's get into a little bit of fan of the year conversation. So we've got a little bit of a surprise for Tony here. He doesn't know about something that's getting ready to happen here in a couple minutes, but I'll tease that right now. But Tony, let's talk about your take on this fan of the year. Tell your story, brother, because I got some stuff to add to it.
So total surprise. Didn't know about anything of this. I know that the timing. I figured it would be like early November before an announcement came out. But the Bengals are amazing. They're able to sneak this in here and surprise people over and over. At least for the last 4 years they've been doing this. It's been a total surprise to all of us. But basically, the biggest thing that how they got me in there was, they did that From the Jungle thing with the Cleveland game, and they were supposed to mic me up, being the fan. They've been doing that with other fans. They did it with Phil, also with like Mama T and some family members of the Bengals, micing them up just to see their perspective from the stands. But we didn't get to do that for the City Up North game. So they kind of used that as, hey, we want to make this up to you. We weren't able to do that, but we want to make sure we do it for the Seattle game. Just come up in there a few minutes early. We'll get you all wired up, and we'll get you in there. And I'm like, all right, cool, that's no problem. We'll do that. Well, we're at the tailgate, doing our thing, and I'm still down there cleaning up, putting tables away. And Grant, the Bengals guy, he's blowing up my phone like, where you at? What's your ETA? And I'm like, I'm almost there. I'm getting ready to come. And it was, and all these comments that like Jimmy was making and other people, and I'm like, why are they making all these comments? And like Jimmy kept on saying, you need to get in there. You need to get in there. And I'm like, all I'm doing is getting mic'd up. It's not a big deal. But it's kind of funny. I almost missed my, my video of them, showing me as fan of the year. But we got in there. He mic'd me up, and we're still in there early. And I'm just kind of looking at my phone and, just looking around or whatever. And they start playing this on the jumbo screen. And I got Jimmy hitting me. I got my wife hitting me. And I'm like, what? Why are you guys hitting me? And they're like, look up. So I look up at the jumbo screen, and there it is, and I'm confused. I didn't know what was going on. I'm just like, what is this? And, I saw it, but I didn't see it. You know what I mean? I was just totally confused in what was going on. But it really hit me when the mascot, Who Day Baby, Who Day tapped me on the back and said, turn around, and he presented me with the Fan of the Year jersey. And that's when it hit me. My wife's jumping up and down. Jimmy's all excited for us. And, all our whole section was screaming and yelling at me, people coming up, giving me hugs and congratulations. And it was just a really emotional moment. I'm trying to compose myself. I'm this Tiger, and they got me up on a demo screen, and I'm trying to wipe my eyes and not realizing that I have white pants on, and I'm wiping my hands off, and I got the makeup and face paint going on the sweatpants, and it was just crazy. So, but it was awesome. It's a great moment for me, our fans. I'm very thankful for all those who nominated me. I don't have much more to say, but I just appreciate everyone who nominated me, and I hope to represent our team, our city, and our fan base as best as I can. And I'm just looking forward to what the Fan of the Year brings to us this year, and hoping that when I get to go to Vegas for the Super Bowl as part of being the Fan of the Year, that my Bengals and all of you guys are there with me. So that's what we're wishing for right now.
Dude, I mean, Go ahead.
James.
No,
I just found it interesting that he said "Hooday baby."
Yeah. So let's talk about these four ugly dudes right here. So there was something prior to 2020. They didn't label it as fan of the year. It was something else, but it was pretty similar. Got to go to the Super Bowl, the whole 9 yards. They rebranded it in 2020 as fan of the year. Hooday Baby, who sits in section 158, was first fan of the year. Myself was in 2021, section 158 as well. 2022, Phil Ameren. He sits. I'm going to get Phil here in a minute and ask him about his damn seat section here. And then Tony's section 158. So 158 is the place to be, man. But Tony, look, man, I didn't tell you this was happening, man, but we had to bring on some friends here, man, and make you feel at home, brother. So, Hooday Baby, Phil, what's going on? Fans of the year right here, man. What's going on?
That's right.
Hooday, man. Hooday.
Hooday, baby.
Section 231.
I was going to say something, but I wasn't sure.
Well, I just want to say I am very blessed to be among you all. Each one of you have represented the team very well. I hope I can do the same and do you guys good as being the next one. So I appreciate you guys coming on and sharing this with me.
Yeah, so I'm sure that there's what I'd like Sean and Phil to do is give Tony some advice, maybe what to expect, what things you didn't expect that happened to you, Hooday Baby. I'll let you kick it off. Let Phil go from there.
So mine was slightly different because I was the COVID year. So I didn't get the Super Bowl. Mine was more the draft that did that. So my surprises were getting to go up, sit in the commissioner's chair, present Chase with his jersey, and then get to do the, announcing the 4th round pick, who's no longer on the team, Tyler Shelvin. But, I still got the card. But it was just, a cool experience to just be amongst other fans, different, not everybody's a face painter. Not everybody tries to cover up their ugliness like I do. So just, you get the, Jimmy should try it, but that's a whole different story. But I mean, just take it all in and embrace the whole thing. Just be a sponge and just take it all in. Enjoy every minute of it. Congratulations, by the way. I didn't get to see you on Sunday to say that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Phil, go ahead, buddy.
I didn't have a clue. I'm just one of those nobodies, and it came out of nowhere. I think one of the things that I wasn't used to was all the notoriety. I'm pretty much a private person, quiet guy, and so that was a little more difficult for me to handle, and still is to this day, because Tony, you're well known. Hooday Baby, you're well known. I should say Sean, you're well known. Jimmy, you're well known. So that was difficult for me to handle. And, still when you're out in a restaurant, people come up to you and don't get me wrong. It's awesome. There's nothing that compares to this as a fan. I think I had such a hangover from losing to Kansas City and going to the Super Bowl. That was, that was kind of a downer. So this year I expect Tony to bring us home a Super Bowl.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tony, you have to do what Hooday Baby and Phil and myself didn't get done. You got to bring the dub home to Cincinnati, that first Super Bowl trophy, brother. So I don't want to – I'd be repeating everything that Hooday Baby and Phil said. If I just narrow it down to one thing, slow it down, be a sponge, absorb every minute of this. This will be something you and your family and when you have grandkids that you guys will be talking about forever, man. And it's just a fun ride. And like I said, I think I said it last week, tens and thousands of fans deserve this honor, right? And we would just happen to be fortunate enough to represent our favorite team in our city for this honor. And I tell you what, guys, Phil, you did an awesome job last year. The thing that I'll never forget is you trying to sing those damn Christmas songs last year when they surprised you. And the fake coin flip at the draft, classic. Total GOAT status at that point right there, buddy. So,
thanks, brother.
And then Sean, Hooday Baby, the very first official fan of the year. And anybody who has a problem with Hooday Baby, it's not about Hooday Baby. It's about them. There's something wrong with that individual. So if you ever hear anybody say anything negative about Hooday Baby, it's on them. And I just think the character on this screen is very important, and representing your families and your city and your team. just so many more people could have been any of us at the end of the day. But what an honor. And Tony, we love you, buddy, man. And you're the same as everybody on the screen, man. I'm excited for you to represent our city and our team, man, the rest of the year. Just bring home that damn Super Bowl for us, buddy.
One job, Tony. One job.
And it does fly, brother. It was just yesterday.
Yeah.
Just yesterday.
Hey, you guys are putting a lot of pressure on me now. We gotta win these next 7-8 games first.
What a
Super Bowl, be a sponge. Yeah. That's all I heard. Yeah.
Hey, so I want to tell everybody this. I've been so busy at work. I mean, I can't begin to how crazy things are. We've had events going on, charity events, and all this stuff going on. And I've been wanting to do this. I literally did not tell Sean and Phil until about 45 minutes ago about this. And Sean was making tacos on Taco Tuesday. He stopped making tacos for Tony. Phil's with his yeah. I who they make me a lot of beer. Yeah. Phil was with his grandkids and said, "You know what? I got to do this." Tony, that's because we love you, man, and we were really looking forward to you to have the same experience we did, man, and have a great time with it, buddy. We appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and like I said earlier, I hope I can live up to your guys' expectations and what you guys have paved the path for people like me and our future fan of the years. And appreciate you guys taking the time to come up here and congratulate and give me some insight. So I love you guys. Thanks.
Absolutely. Love you, Tony.
Hey, congratulations once again, and just thoroughly enjoy it, man.
I will. Thanks you very much.
Thanks, baby. We love you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
So how cool was that, man? How cool was that? Awesome. Those guys literally, it was 7:20 when I got a hold of them. Like, if you can't do it, it's okay. But Tony, surprise, brother.
I do have some bad news. That was amazing. I think due to all the awesomeness on the screen, my battery went from 10% to 3%. So I'm going to die. So I'm going to log off.
Rephrase that.
Sorry. So I'm going to log off gracefully for now, and I will remember to bring my charger home from work next week.
So we're all saying bye to Jamie now because he's going to die here in a minute. His battery's going to die. So appreciate you being on, Jamie, before you get off there. So let's get into the conversation. Tony, congrats on Fan of the Year, brother. Just a very cool thing. Let's talk about this San Francisco game, guys. What do we got to do? What do we got to do to win this damn thing this week? Because we're going into a hornet's nest. Them losing their last 2 games this close. They need a win right now. We need a bigger win because we've dug ourselves a hole early. We got to get a dub. So, Jamie, I'll let you kick this off real quick before your battery dies. What do we got to do this week to make it happen, San Fran?
Okay. So I agree with you. I've watched the last couple of weeks, watching San Francisco lose. Watched the game last night, which was interesting to see. I'm one of the rare people who still think Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. You know, I think that the dude's come out. He's bald. Obviously facing adversity now, and they're going to come in, or we're going to go in there, and they're going to be pissed. So I think the secret to beating San Francisco is to try and slow down Christian McCaffrey as best that you can. But what gives me hope for that is the fact that we went into Tennessee and we were supposed to get run over by Derrick Henry. And I don't remember how many yards we held him to, but it was the least amount of yards any team ever held him to before. So the team can obviously do it. I think we can pull it off. And
he didn't make it. He didn't make it. He tried to get it. That's great. That's going to be a clip.
I hate that Thanos effect, but yeah.
So actually, you know what, Mark? You kind of let's go around the horn here real quick. What do they have to do to get this dub this weekend? What has to happen, man?
For me, the biggest thing is going to be controlling the middle of the field. I remember the last time we played them, we handled the receivers well, but Logan Wilson was injured, and the tight end Kittle destroyed us. I think he had 15 catches, 150 plus yards, and that's honestly how they won the game. So I'm going to be looking for the defense. Obviously, we have to stop the run, but knowing how the Kyle Shanahan offense is, he's going to want to attack the middle of the field, and you have to force Brock Purdy to beat you because you can say he's good, but he is the weakest link on that team. And I don't mean that as negative, but if you look at every other position, they have a world-class player, every position group, offensive line, tight end, receiver, running back, defensive line, linebacker, and the defensive back. So we have to control the middle of the field and just play our game. I don't care if they won, if they lost the game, they're pissed. If they had won, they're getting back hot. So whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We need to come out and play our game and play Cincinnati Bengal football, and we'll come home with the dub.
There you go, Tony.
So I don't think we've seen this yet. So we either have defenses doing really well or the offense is doing well. We've never seen them both do very well for the entire length of the game. It seems like one does well in the first half, and then we have one do well in the second half. So I think if we get both of those elements working together and we have a full game of both sides of the ball working well for us, I think that, we could pull this win out. I think it's really important to control that win game or the run game. And Kettle, he's always a threat towards us. But again, if we can do both sides of the ball and do it the whole game, I think we'll be okay.
Tom?
It's the same thing for us every week. The first thing is protect number 9.
Yep.
Keep him healthy, keep him upright, give him time to do his thing. That's always the most important thing for the Cincinnati Bengals every week. Number 2 is win the turnover battle, like Minnesota did. Be stripping the balls. We've got linebackers that are really prone to either intercept or cause fumbles, but win the turnover battle. San Francisco's got an offense that doesn't allow the defense to get to the quarterback. They're very quick passes. I like Mark had a fantastic point. When they tore us up last game, which they didn't really tore us up, they beat us in overtime, but Kittle just murdered us, and that is that's been a Bengal weakness for how long, Jimmy? How old are we? Old.
I had a memory.
An old Bengal weakness for a tight end or a slot receiver to tear us up over the middle. Mark's right. You've got to contain that middle. You've got to contain Kittle. And, if you do have a chance, if they do decide to throw a deep ball and you get that extra second or two, get to the quarterback. But we can't do it. It's time for our guys to stand up and start playing their best ball. And when they do, they got to play us. So we get a week off to rest, a week off to plan. And they lose, a day and a half, because they probably got in about 6, 7 a.m. this morning.
Yep.
Into San Francisco, and they're a little beat up. They don't have one of their starting receivers. So let's take advantage of it, and let's make a statement and have a November to remember.
Yep. And I'll tell you this, man, it's protect Joe and open holes for Joe. So I really do believe this comment right here, man. If you remember, what game was it last year? Mixon went off. Bengals fans wanted to get rid of him. He had 5 touchdowns? Carolina. The game before that, they were just, everybody was on his ass. I think Joe Mixon. So we got to protect Joe, number 1, but we got to open holes for Joe. I think Joe's going to have a game, both Joes, but Joe Mixon's going to have his best game of the year. And pressure on Purdy, period. Because there's been several comments in here about putting pressure on Purdy. You saw it last night.
They don't allow it there. They do those quick 3-step drops, and boom, he knows where he's going with the ball. It's a very quarterback-friendly system.
I absolutely love our secondary and linebacking core against this type of offense. Guys, I know I went into it. I had an appointment today up in the Loveland area, and I walk in, and one of the employees come out and was talking to me. I was waiting on the VP to come out, and he literally was scared to death of this game. He literally was talking about, man, I don't know how we're going to win this game. They're going to be really upset. I was like, blah, blah, blah. They just lost 2 games. I'm like, guys, this team since 2021, that Super Bowl run, has been the underdog majority of the time. They play, for whatever reason, I think they get things together when they go on the road to begin with. They get refocused. Guys, I really do think, I know the San Francisco 49ers are favored by 5.5. But I really do think the Bengals go out there and take care of business this week. They're going to do everything they can. They're up against a wall right here, guys. They lost 2 division games to start the season. They're losing every tiebreaker as of today. They have got to go on a run, and it has to start now. You've got the second toughest schedule in the NFL for the rest of the year. You've got San Fran. We got Buffalo coming up. We got a lot of good teams we're going to be playing here very soon. So one game at a time, old cliche. But we got to start. We got to get ready to go this week, and the turnover battle is very important, I think, like Mark said. So So, man, I don't know, man. A lot of good comments in here, a lot of repeats. I'm not putting everything up there, but a lot of good comments on there about this game in San Francisco. And I didn't download this, but we're going to take.
It's a beautiful Tuesday, and it's the 2-minute warning.
It's our man, Harrison, the comedian. So let's go ahead and kick off the 2-minute warning and get out of here a couple minutes early. We'll kick it off. We will let Tony end the show tonight as fan of the year. And we'll start with Tom, Mark, and then me, then Tony. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, first things first, the big statement was the 2023 fan of the year. Nobody deserves it more than Tony. And nobody has handled it with more grace or class that was eligible. So, Tony, congratulations. I hope you do love every single second of it, appreciate every single second of it, feel no stress, and just enjoy it. So every Bengal fan should be thankful that we've got a guy like Tony to be representing us. I don't know when it expires, I guess this time next year or after the draft, but to be representing us like this, like Tony. So again, congratulations, Tony. It's a big task. Sunday. I don't know when the guys are flying out the traditional Saturday afternoon at 1:00 time, or if they're going out a day early, but it's a big task. It won't be easy. But again, if the Bengals play their best game in all facets of the game, I can see them very easily winning this game, but they have to have their best game together in all three facets, 60 full minutes, no time off, but they can win this game. They just have to have their best game together. I don't think we've seen it yet. I don't think we've even come close to seeing it yet. But let's get ready to see it Sunday afternoon. Everybody going out there, be safe. And we will see you next Tuesday night. And again, thank you to all of you. You have a lot of places you can go for your Bengals news and to share your Bengals fan experience. We thank you for sharing with us. Mark?
Thanks, Tom. I want to start off by saying, Tony, congrats, brother. You are an amazing ambassador for our fan base. It was funny. I remember at the tailgate, I was looking around like, where is everybody? We're trying to clean up. I didn't see it. I was like, what happened? They went inside, and then I went, and they're like, you didn't hear? I'm like, no. I was like, oh, I'm so happy for him. There's a big difference between Anthony, the guy we know, he's a really stoic individual, quiet. And then when you put that war paint on, brother, you are an amazing ambassador with the kids, the things you do for the kids, with the tickets, everything, brother. I'm so happy for you and Carrie. And, as far as the game Sunday, I say it all the time when I think about it. I get excited, goosebumps. Meaningful games coming into November and December. This is what we live for as Bengals fans. We've wanted for so long to play in these meaningful games, and we have Joe Burrow and the whole team. And I'm so excited to cheer the fellas on. Win, lose, or draw doesn't make a difference. Obviously, I want to win, but I just love being able to, cheer on the team that, we're 6-3 since Joe's been here in November, and 6-2 since December. So I'm ready to get things going. Who day?
Yeah, who day, man. Look, man, I've said this before. I'm trying to say this without. Look, man, Tony is the same person today that you see that I know at a different level than when I first met him many, many years ago. There's nothing fake or phony about Tony. This dude will do anything for anybody at any time. If you needed you needed a shirt off his back, he'd be the first one. He would take that shirt off and give it to you. Real, genuine individual, brother. And I'm proud for you to represent our team and our city. And I'm proud to call you a friend and a friend, buddy. And it really means a lot. And I was, I got a call about a week and a half before Tony got somewhere around 2 weeks, maybe before Tony got named fan of the year. I had to keep that secret for 2 weeks. So the Bengals wanted me to kind of do some things to make sure things happened for Tony. I did a quick little interview for him like a week before. So me knowing that, I had tears in my eyes when they first called me, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy for Tony. But me keeping that in for that long killed me, man. It was stressful.
I asked you like 100 times too.
I know. Mark and I worked together, right? And he's like, I was like, no, I have no idea. But it was a special day, and to see Carrie there crying and just listening to Carrie and seeing Tony and the reaction, and almost every fan in section 158. If they didn't get to that aisle to give Tony a hug and say congratulations, I know the Twins came from all the way over the 50-yard line to say something. Most everybody in that section at least was pointing to Tony saying congratulations, and that's what real fans do, and I really love that reaction. I didn't expect that. I guess it was really cool to see everybody come down from other sections and go out of their way to congratulate Tony. So very happy for Tony. Enjoy the ride, brother. That's all I can say. And guys, San Francisco, big week, man, big week. We dug ourselves a hole. It's time for us to go on a run here, guys. And it starts. We're already two-game winning streak. What was our winning streak last year, Tom? 10 games. We did a 10-game winning streak.
Yep. 10 games.
It can be done. It can be done.
Yeah, we can win this one. That's all we're worried about. Let's win Sunday.
Hey, we appreciate everybody. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you in San Fran, but we'll see you next Tuesday night as well. Thank you. Who day, everybody?
Who day.
Oh, no, man, Tony. My bad.
You gave the Jamie treatment.
My bad. This is the first time.
Jamie treatment.
This is the first time I didn't close. My bad, Tony. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. So, first off, thank you to you guys for the kind words. Had to hold back my tears. I just appreciate everything, and I appreciate everyone who's nominated me, and like Jimmy said, all the people that came up to me during the game. It was weird because this is the first time in this kind of realm. I got to share this moment with 70,000 people. They all got to see who the fan of the year was, and the whole stadium was this, it was screaming and yelling, and, they were all excited for it. So I appreciate everyone. And I hope I do well. I work hard. We all do work hard for everything that we do. This is an opportunity from the Bengals to kind of help say thank you. And I appreciate it. I can't tell you in how many words of, how surreal this is for me. It's nice to get this honor, but it's not something that I expect. I'm going to keep doing what I do. And, we're going to keep on doing this charity. That's one of my favorite things. It fills my heart to be able to give money and facilitate these opportunities for people to raise money for all these charities. And of course, Tony's Tickets for Kids is one of my favorite things. Being able to give that kid their first experience for their game. I appreciate everyone who's donated tickets and gave us tickets to be able to do that. But again, I appreciate everyone, and thank you very much. As for the game, I'm looking forward to it. We had our bye week, and we all said that we needed a bye week as well. I'm actually going to use this time for vacation. Like some of us here on this screen, we're leaving tomorrow morning to head out to San Francisco. We're going to be out there for a whole week. Enjoy the atmosphere out there. I never been to San Fran, but for the game, I'm looking forward to it. I think we can pull this off. You guys have all said it. We play both sides of the ball. We do win the turnover game. We protect Joe. I think we got this one, and I think our run will start. And I'm looking forward to having the Bengals and all the Who Dey Nation with me in Vegas. So appreciate you guys. Love you.
Who Dey, everybody. See you next week. See you next Tuesday.